What is going on, YouTube? My name is Randy. You're watching the Randy Talks Mets channel. And guys, we got a target off the board. The Mets have a target off the board now that the Seattle Mariners have inked a deal with Josh Naylor. What does this mean for Pete Alonso? We're going to get into that. But before we do, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy Mets content, you enjoy baseball content. Let's get right into this video here, and we're going to get it started here with, does this hurts Pete Alonso's market? Does it hurt Pete Alonso's market? I believe it does, because Josh Naylor is 28 years old, and this is the first deal that he's getting, obviously, yesterday. This inks a deal of 90 mil to 100 mil. AAV from 18 to 20 AAV. So I believe this hurts Pete Alonso's market. You look at the age of Josh Naylor, a 28-year-old getting a 5-year deal. That says a lot. It says a lot. A 28-year-old should be getting the 7-year deal that Mr. Pete Alonso is looking for. Now, I don't think Pete Alonso is going to get that 7-year deal at all. I just don't see it. I really don't see it. But what I will say is, Josh Naylor, credit to Josh Naylor, credit to the Seattle Mariners for getting this guy, Josh Naylor, who did a great job with Seattle. Played with energy, was a nice trade piece for them, was a nice trade deadline acquisition. I think Josh Naylor added a lot to that team. He loved it there, and Seattle wanted him back, and they got him back. So it's a good thing that Seattle got him back. But what does this mean for Pete Alonso? What does this mean for the New York Mets? Now, we know that when it comes to targets for first baseman, Josh Naylor was a target that a lot of Met fans were talking about. They were saying, oh, if we don't get Pete Alonso, maybe we can go get a Josh Naylor. Maybe we can go get a Josh Naylor. And I felt like Josh Naylor would have been a nice piece. It would have been a nice piece, but it's not Pete Alonso. At the end of the day, who do you want on your team? You know, he hit 290, 25 home runs. Josh Naylor is a really good bat. I like his bat a lot. But Pete Alonso is one of the best sluggers in the game. He's only one of 6 players who had 80 extra base hits. So it says a lot about where Pete Alonso is, where he's going, and what does this do for the market? What does this really do for the market? That's the big thing. And I think, to be honest, Pete Alonso, with this deal coming for Josh Naylor, I think this means that he's not going to get that 7-year deal. He's not going to get that 6-year deal. I think he is mostly looking at a 4 or 5-year deal. And it's not a bad thing when it comes to Pete Alonso. Like, really think about it. First basemen, do they get those crazy deals? Pete Alonso is a guy that many teams are concerned about what he's going to be when he gets older. How is he going to play out this contract? There's a lot of concerns about his defense. A lot of concern. And he's not a good defensive player. He's not. He hasn't been. He's okay. But overall, the defensive metrics, he's one of the worst. He had a -9 defensive run saved in 2025. This is a guy that you see multiple times. Yes, he makes those nice plays at times. Yes, he's a really good scooper. But the yips, the throws to second base, the throws to home, the throws to first base at times, multiple times. Just it sucks to see for the guy. It really sucks to see. But I believe that the Mets are going to have this guy back. I think Pete Alonso is going to go back to the Mets. Now, there is also news about the Red Sox and the Red Sox interest in Mr. Pete Alonso. And what does that mean for Pete Alonso? Apparently, there was some mixed reports. Mixed reports according to SNY. And that was that they were saying, oh, they weren't really interested in Pete Alonso. But now we're hearing that they are interested in Mr. Pete Alonso. So I think when it comes to the Mets, The Mets got to do everything in their power to get Pete Alonso back. Obviously, they got to see where that market is, where that market is going. But I think a 5-year deal is not a bad deal for Pete Alonso. I don't feel that that's a bad deal. He's probably going to get a 5-year deal for 160, maybe around there, maybe 150. It's going to start there. I believe it's going to start there. I just don't see the Mets doing a 6-year deal or a 7-year deal. It's just too much. It's just too much. But I think when it comes to the Mets got to get this guy. And we've seen from Carlos Beltran in the GM meetings talking about, hey, we want this guy back. We want Edwin Diaz back. We want Pete Alonso back. And we're going to do everything in our power to get him back. The power that Pete Alonso has doesn't grow on trees. He's one of the best sluggers in the game. 38 home runs, 126 RBIs. A guy that people are talking about that could be a Hall of Famer if he gets to 500. I don't know if he gets to 500 home runs. But what I will say, he's probably going to get close. And then there comes the conversation, what are they going to do? Are they going to DH him? Are they going to have him at first base for 81 games and then DH him the rest? What are they going to do with Pete Alonso? Because that's a big thing. It's a big thing. The defense is a huge thing for the Mets, especially when the president of baseball operations, David Stearns, is saying run prevention. Run prevention has a lot to do with Pete Alonso. Defensively, it's a huge thing. So I think that the Mets want him back. And I think that the Mets are going to do everything in their power to get him back. But I think that the main competition for Pete Alonso is going to be the Boston Red Sox. He has a wife in Boston that lives in Boston. I think it's going to be a huge thing. I really think. I think Pete Alonso is most likely going to be with the New York Mets or he's going to be with the Boston Red Sox. And we've seen Tristan Casas from the Boston Red Sox have that horrible injury, season-ending injury, and they don't know how he's going to look like in 2026. So it's a concern. It is a concern for the Boston Red Sox, and they need a first baseman. I think that their first target, though, is Alex Bregman. But if they don't get Alex Bregman, which is what we're hearing from the reports, if they don't get Alex Bregman, they're going to go hard for Mr. Pete Alonso. And when you think about Pete Alonso's swing, it works perfectly with Fenway. So I hope, and I truly hope, that the Mets do everything in their power to get back Pete Alonso. Because I think seeing Juan Soto and Pete Alonso in the same lineup is special. And we can guarantee that for years to come, even better. Now we can talk about the DH, we can talk about the defense, but it is what it is. Pete Alonso should be a Met. Pete Alonso has been a Met. Pete Alonso is a homegrown guy. He wants to be back here. He wants to be with the Mets. He wants to be loyal to the Mets. And I think he is going to be loyal to the Mets. Is he going to take a pay cut for the Mets? I don't know. I don't know. But I think the years is the big thing when it comes to Mr. Pete Alonso. The years. So we'll see what happens, guys. But if you enjoyed the video, definitely do me a favor. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We have a target now off the board, Josh Naylor. And this is not great for Pete Alonso, but maybe this could get Pete Alonso a deal maybe a little faster with the Mets, because now that a target is off the board, the Mets don't have a lot of targets to go to when it comes to first base. So we'll see what happens. If you enjoyed the video, definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You guys are awesome. Have a good one. Follow me on TikTok at Randy Talks Mets. Follow me on Twitter, Randy Talk Mets. And then obviously here on YouTube. So you guys are awesome. Have a good one. And yeah, appreciate you watching.